Good evening, my name is Alejandro Zapata, and I am currently attending eel47 at FIU with Alexander Pons. Today we'll be talking about how to protect your business network and information. The contents of this presentation are solely for ethical and educational purposes only. Some of the things we'll be talking about are privacy and data, cyber plans. We're going to ask ourselves a couple questions. I'm going to talk about how to develop a privacy policy, types of data to protect. We're going to create layers of security. We're going to plan for data loss or theft. We're going to talk about training employees to recognize social engineering, protect against malware and spyware and adware. We're going to talk about network security methods, and I'm going to give you guys a couple links and references. Privacy and data. Data security is crucial for all small businesses. Customer and client information, payment information, personal files, bank account details, all of this information is often impossible to replace if lost, and dangerous in the hands of criminals. Data loss due to disasters such as flood or fire is devastating, but losing it to hackers or malware infection can have far greater consequences. How you handle or protect your data is central to the security of your business and the privacy expectations of customers, employees, and partners. Your business data may include customer data such as account records, transaction accountability, and financial information, contact and address information, purchasing history, habits, buying habits and preferences, as well as employee information. You have to ask yourself a couple questions about your cybersecurity plan. What kind of data do you have in your business? A typical business will have all kinds of data, some of it more valuable and sensitive than others, but all data has value to somebody. How is data handled and protected? Security experts are fond of saying that data is most at risk when it's due on the move. If all business-related data resided on a single computer or server that is not connected to the internet and never left that computer, it would probably be very easy to protect. Who has access to that data and under what circumstances? Not every employee needs access to all of your information. Your marketing staff shouldn't need to be allowed to view employee payroll data, and your administrative staff may not need access to all your customer information. Your business can have a variety of data, including customer sales records, customer credit card transactions, customer support information, employee payroll records, employee email lists, marketing plans, business leads and inquiries, and legal, tax, and financial correspondence. Developing a privacy policy. It is important for your business. Privacy is important for your business and your customers. Continued trust in your business practices, products, and secure handling of your clients' unique information impacts your profitability. Your privacy policy is a pledge to your customers that you will use and protect their information in ways that they expect and that adhere to your legal obligations. Some of the types of data that exist are personally identifiable information, which often referred to as PII. This information includes such things as first and last name, home or business addresses, email addresses, credit card and bank account numbers, taxpayer identification numbers, patient numbers, and social security numbers. It can also include gender, age, and date of birth, city of birth or residence, driver's license numbers, home and cell phone numbers. The other type of data to protect would be customer information, and this includes payment information such as credit or debit card numbers, verification codes, billing and shipping addresses, email addresses, phone numbers, purchasing history, buying preferences, and shopping behavior. Creating layers of security. Protecting data, like any other security challenge, is about creating layers of protection. The idea of layering security is simple. You cannot and should not rely on just one security mechanism, such as a password, to protect something sensitive. If that security mechanism fails, you have nothing left to protect you. When it comes to data security, there are a number of key procedural and technical layers you should consider. Once you've identified your data, keep a record of its location and move it to more appropriate locations as needed. Some of the layers that we're talking about would be, for example, you can inventory your data. You can identify and protect sensitive and valuable data. You can control access to your data and secure data. We need to have plans for data loss and theft. Every business has to plan for the unexpected, and that includes the loss or theft of data from your business. Not only can the loss or theft of data hurt your business, brand, or customer confidence, it can also expose you to the often costly state of federal regulations that cover data protection and privacy. Data loss can also expose businesses to significant litigation risks. This is why it is critical to understand exactly what data or security breach regulations affect your business and how prepared you are to respond to them. That should be the foundation of data breach response plan. That will make it easier to launch a rapid and coordinated response to any loss of or theft of data. In order to reinforce our cyber plan, we must train our employees to recognize social engineering. Social engineering, also known as pretexting, is used by many criminals, both online and off, to trick unsuspecting people into giving away their personal information and/or installing malicious software onto their computers. Devices or networks, social engineering is successful because the bad guys are doing their best to make their work look and sound legitimate, sometimes even helpful, which makes it easier to deceive users. Protect against online fraud. Online fraud takes on many guises that can impact everyone, including small businesses and their employees. It is helpful to maintain consistent and predictable online messaging when communicating with your customers to prevent others from impersonating your company. Be sure to never request personal information or account details through email, social networking, or other online messages. Let your customers know you will never request this kind of information through such channels and instruct them to contact you directly should they have any concerns. Instruct them to not fall for fake antivirus offers. Fake antivirus, scareware, and other rogue online security scams have been behind some of the most successful online frauds in recent times. Make sure your organization has a policy in place explaining what the procedure is if an employee's computer becomes affected by a virus. Train your employees to recognize a legitimate warning and to properly notify your IT team if something bad or questionable has happened. If possible, configure your computers to not allow regular users to have administrative access. This will minimize the risk of them installing malicious software and condition users that adding unauthorized software to work computers is against policy. Protecting against malware. Businesses can experience a compromise through the introduction of malicious software or malware. Malware can make its way onto machines from internet, download, attachment, email, social media, and other platforms. One specific malware to be aware of is keylogging, which is malware that tracks a user's keyboard strokes. To remove spyware, run an immediate full scan of your computer with antivirus software, and if necessary, run a legitimate product specifically designed to remove spyware. To avoid being infected with spyware, limit cookies on your browser preferences. Never click on links within pop-up windows, and be wary of free downloadable software from reputable sources. Spyware and adware, when installed, will send pop-ups redirect to certain websites and monitor websites that you visit. Extreme versions can track what keys are typed. Spyware can cause your computer to become slow and also leaves you susceptible to privacy theft. If you are subject to endless pop-up windows or are regularly redirected to websites other than what you typed in your browser, your computer is likely infected with malware and spyware. We're going to talk about network security now. Securing your company's network consists of 1. Identifying all devices and connections on the network. 2. Setting boundaries between your company's system and others. 3. Enforcing controls to ensure that unauthorized access, misuse, or denial of service events can be thwarted or rapidly contained and recovered from if they do occur. Your company's network should be separated from the public internet or by strong user authentication mechanisms and policy enforcement systems such as firewalls and web filtering proxies. Additional monitoring and security solutions such as antivirus software and intrusion detection systems should also be employed to identify and stop malicious code or unauthorized access attempts. Password policies should encourage your employees to employ the strongest passwords possible without creating the need or temptation to reuse passwords or write them down. Generally speaking, 2 authentication methods, which require 2 types of evidence that you are who you claim to be, are safer than using just static passwords for authentication. One common example is a personally secured token that displays changing passcodes to be used in conjunction with an established password. However, 2-factor systems may not always be possible or practical for your company. Secure and encrypt your company's Wi-Fi. Wireless access control. Your company may choose to operate a wireless local area network for the use of customers, guests, and visitors. If so, it is important that such a WLAN be kept separate from the main company network so that traffic from the public network cannot traverse the company's internal system at any point. Wireless encryption. Due to demonstrable security flaws known to exist in older forms of wireless encryption, your company's internal WLAN should only employ Wi-Fi protected access to encryption. Different encryption schemes are appropriate under different circumstances. However, applications that comply with the open PGP standards such as PGP and GNU-PG provide a wide range of options for security data on disk as well as in transit. If you choose to offer secure transactions via your company's website, consult with your service provider about available options for an SSL certificate for your site. Encryption should be employed to protect any data that your company considers sensitive, in addition to meeting applicable regulatory requirements on information safeguarding. Regularly update all applications. All systems and software, including networking equipment, should be updated in a timely fashion as patches and firmware upgrades become available. Use automatic updating services whenever possible, especially for security systems such as anti-malware applications, web filtering tools, and intrusion prevention systems. Set safe web browsing rules. Your company's internal network should only be able to access those services and resources on the internet that are essential to the business and the needs of your employees. Use the safe browsing features included with modern web browsing software and web proxies to ensure that malicious or unauthorized sites cannot be accessed from your internal network. If remote access is enabled, make sure it is secure. If your company needs to provide remote access to your company's internal network over the internet, one popular and secure option is to employ a secure virtual private network system accompanied by strong 2-factor authentication using either hardware or software tokens. Ensure employees never put any unknown flash drives or USBs into their computers. As the U.S. Chamber's Internet Security Essentials for Business 2.0 states, Small businesses should set a policy so that employees know they should never open a file from a flash drive they are not familiar with, and should hold down the shift key when inserting the flash drive to block malware. These are a couple helpful links that you can use when you are developing your cybersecurity plans. And here are a couple references that I was using to put this presentation together. Within these references, I mentioned the book that we used for the class. I learned a lot from that book alone. And the class itself, thank you, Professor Pons. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. Have a good day.